We have used many times the fact that square root of 2 is not a rational number. We have already proved that square root of 2 is not a rational number and it is going to be a real number. No, we haven't actually proved even that. We haven't shown that there exists a number called square root of 2 in the set of all real numbers. What is the square root of 2? It is just a symbol. It is a number that on squaring will give us 2. So we are trying to locate a real number alpha such that alpha square is equal to 2. We are going to establish the existence of such an alpha. This is what we are going to see, that there exists a real number alpha such that its square is equal to 2. And in that case, we call this real number alpha to be the square root of 2. Remember that previously we had seen a set and we took the set of all rational numbers of the form satisfying the property that its square is less than 2. So precisely we considered this set, the set of all R in Q with the property that R square is less than 2. And we know that this set is not empty because at least 1 belongs to this set. And we can see that if supremum of this set exists, it's probably going to be the number we want to call as square root of 2. In the proof of this particular theorem also, we are going to make use of such a similar set. So we define a set like this. So we are entering into the proof. Write T for the set, all real numbers that are square less than 2. So this is a set of all real numbers with square less than 2. Is this T not empty? Certainly, because 0 is there, 1 is there, so T is not empty. Is the set bounded above? Is the set bounded above by some number? We know that if we consider T equal to 2, then that number is not going to be here because T square is 4 and 4 is not less than 2. Therefore, that number is not going to be here. And not only that, any number greater than that 2 is not going to be here. That's obvious because if you take some other number greater than 2, its square is going to be greater than 4. So we want square to be less than 2. Therefore, 2 cannot be an element of the set and 2 is above all the elements in the set. Therefore, 2 is an upper bound. We can in fact take something smaller also because if we take t is equal to 1.5, its square is going to be 2.25, that is also greater than 2. So 2 is definitely an upper bound for t and therefore the set is a non-empty set that is bounded above. Therefore by the supremum property or completeness axiom, t has a supremum in R by the axiom of completeness. We denote the supremum of T by alpha. Now we have to show that alpha satisfies the property that alpha square is equal to 2. Or on the other hand, if we show that alpha square is equal to 2, since alpha definitely exists there, we can say that there exists a real number alpha with the property that it has square equal to 2. So just go through whatever we have said once again. We have taken T to be the set of all real numbers with square less than 2. And we argued that it is non-empty and it is bounded above by the axiom of completeness. It has a supremum, and we denoted that supremum by alpha. So alpha definitely exists. There is no doubt regarding the existence of alpha. Now, if we show that alpha satisfies alpha square is equal to 2, since alpha already exists, alpha square is equal to 2 is also established, then both the claims are true. That means there exists a real number, so existence of alpha is clear. Now, alpha square equal to 2 is the second condition we have to verify. For that, we will see that the other two possibilities, that means alpha square less than 2 and alpha square greater than 2 is not going to be possible. So we know that if we have two numbers, we can compare them in three ways. If A and B are real numbers given, then either A is going to be less than B, or A is equal to B, or A is greater than B. If you rule out the possibilities that A less than B and A greater than B, A must be equal to B. Exactly the same procedure we are going to follow here. We are going to show that alpha square is less than 2, not possible, alpha square greater than 2, not possible, so that finally alpha square must be equal to 2. So we assume that alpha square is less than 2 and see what happens after that. We have to show that alpha square equal to 2. So we will rule out the possibilities alpha square less than 2 and 2. Second possibility, alpha square greater than 2. We will remove these possibilities and therefore it will follow that alpha square is equal to 2. Suppose that alpha square is less than 2. Recall, what is alpha? Alpha is the supremum of the set of all real numbers t such that t square is less than 2. So if alpha square is less than 2, if we have to rule out that possibility, we have to make use of the property that alpha is the supremum, and we have to probably arrive at a contradiction by assuming that alpha square less than 2. So what kind of contradiction can happen there? Alpha is the supremum, and therefore if a contradiction has to happen, then we must show that alpha is not an upper bound. So if alpha is a supremum, it has to be an upper bound. To bring a contradiction, we need to show that alpha is not an upper bound. So how do we show that alpha is not an upper bound? So we need to bring an element, something that is greater than alpha, and at the same time it is in capital T, the set. So if we are finding an element that is greater than alpha and that is in T, then that element must satisfy its square less than 2. So if we are finding, so our aim is this. Our aim is the following. Find beta such that alpha square less than beta square. At the same time, this is less than 2. And this will contradict the fact that alpha is the supremum, because alpha square less than beta square, if you are getting, then beta is also going to be there in 2, but at the same time alpha is less than beta. Therefore, alpha is not an upper bound because beta is already there in T. So this is what we now want. Basically, we have to find some number, some real number that is slightly above alpha, but it is below, its square is below 2. So we want some alpha plus 1 by n in such a way that alpha plus 1, see, alpha plus 1 by n is slightly above alpha, because we know that 1 by n is very small and we can choose 1 by n to be really small. So alpha plus 1 by n is going to be slightly above alpha, and suppose, and at the same time we want alpha plus 1 by n in such a way that this is going to be less than 2. So we want alpha plus 1 by n the whole square to be less than 2. In that case, we can choose this alpha plus 1 by n to be equal to beta, and therefore everything will work out. But how do we choose this alpha plus 1 by n? How do we choose this 1 by n? Alpha is already known to us, but how do we choose 1 by n carefully in such a way that alpha plus 1 by n is square is still below 2? So we will let us see what exactly this alpha plus 1 by n is. We have to put some condition on 1 by n so that alpha plus 1 by n whole square is still less than 2. So let us see the square of this. What is this? Alpha square plus 2 alpha by n plus 1 by n square. We want this to be less than 2. Now we are trying to locate one n satisfying this property. Therefore, having this n and n square simultaneously will not help us very much to find out such an n. So we will try to remove this n square and bring n on both these parts. So just use the fact that this is 1 by n square, and if we replace 1 by n square by 1 by n, the left side will be actually something smaller than the right side. So something like this: alpha square plus 2 alpha by n plus 1 by n, because we know that this 1 by n square is these two. 1 by n is greater than 1 by n square, therefore we are replacing this with something larger. So this becomes larger. So if you show that this is less than 2, this is less than 2, naturally this side becomes less than 2, therefore this also will become less than 2. So we want to establish that alpha square plus 2 alpha by n plus 1 by n is less than 2. So just rewriting that, alpha square plus 2 alpha plus 1 by n. We want, if this is less than 2, if this is less than 2, then alpha plus 1 by n square also will be less than 2. Now what about this alpha square plus 2 alpha plus 1 by n? We already know that alpha square is less than 2. This is not. And we want n natural number such that alpha square plus 2 alpha plus 1 by n less than 2. Note that we want to put some condition on this n. Therefore, we want an n such that alpha square plus 2 alpha plus 1 by n is less than 2. So we will try to bring this n to one side and everything else to the other side. So in that case, we want 2 alpha plus 1 by n less than 2 minus alpha square, or 1 by n less than 2 minus alpha square by 2 alpha plus 1. We want such an n. We don't know whether such an n exists, but we want such an n. But now, what about this 2 minus alpha square? Alpha square is less than 2, therefore this part is greater than 0. What about 2 alpha plus 1? Alpha is already, we know that 1 is an element of the set of all t such that t square less than 2. 1 is there. Alpha is the supremum of that set. Therefore, alpha is definitely greater than 1. Therefore, this is also 2 alpha plus 1 is also greater than 0. Therefore, these two are ratio of two positive real numbers. Therefore, the whole thing must be, this is some y greater than, suppose we call this to be y greater than 0. Therefore, by Archimedean property second part, we know that there exists some n naught which is less than this positive integer y. By Archimedean property second part. So we can find n naught, there exists n naught equals to n such that this is true. So this n naught will satisfy all these conditions. If you trace the steps that we have already performed backward, we have 1 by n naught less than 2 minus alpha square by 2 alpha plus 1. So there exists n naught such that 1 by n naught less than 2 minus alpha square plus 2 alpha plus 1 implies if we trace the steps that we have already performed, we get 2 alpha plus 1 by n naught less than 2 minus alpha square over alpha square less than alpha square. If you bring to this side, alpha square plus 2 alpha plus 1 by n naught less than 2. So this implies that this is alpha square plus this part. This is greater than, already seen, greater than alpha plus 1 by n the whole square. So alpha plus 1 by n naught square less than 2. That means that this element alpha plus 1 by n naught belongs to T, but alpha is less than alpha plus 1 by n naught. This belongs to T. Therefore, can alpha be the supremum? Alpha is not an upper bound. Therefore, alpha not an upper bound of T, which is a contradiction because alpha is the supremum. Now we are getting alpha not to be an upper bound. Therefore, this is not true. And what is the conclusion therefore? For alpha square cannot be less than 2. So the only possibility remaining now is that alpha square, not only for one possibility, there are two possibilities remaining, alpha square equal to 2 and alpha square greater than 2. We will rule out the next possibility also. That means alpha square cannot be greater than 2 will be proved, and therefore finally we can say that alpha square will be equal to 2. We are going to the next case. Now suppose alpha square greater than 2. In the previous case, we assumed that alpha square is less than 2, and we arrived at a contradiction by finding an element that is greater than alpha that is still a member of T. So in this case, and in that particular situation, alpha became not even an upper bound. So in this case, we are assuming that alpha square is definitely greater than 2. So we cannot actually prove that alpha is not going to be number 1 because alpha square is already greater than 2, and the set consists of only elements of the form t such that t square is less than 2. Therefore, definitely alpha is going to be an upper bound. So to contradict that alpha is the supremum, we have to bring some element between alpha and 2. That means we have to bring some beta in such a way that beta lies between alpha square and 2. So here we have to establish if we can find some beta real number such that alpha square greater than beta square greater than 2, then so beta square is greater than 2. Remember that whatever element we have in capital T, that t square is less than 2. So t square less than 2, so t square less than 2 less than beta square less than alpha square. Then beta actually becomes a candidate to become the supremum instead of alpha. Alpha cannot be supremum because we still have beta here. Beta is an upper bound of this set and beta is less than alpha. So if we can find a beta satisfying this property, then we are true because this will result into a contradiction. So by that contradiction, we can finally say that alpha square greater than 2 cannot be correct. Therefore, our aim is to find a beta in such a way that alpha square is greater than beta square. As in the previous case we wanted some element bigger than alpha, so we choose alpha plus 1 by n. Here we want some element less than alpha, so probably we should choose alpha minus 1 by n. So we will see what happens after that. Suppose we took alpha minus 1 by n, and with the hope that we will be finally getting the alpha minus 1 by n to be um, the beta that we want. So if alpha minus, if we want alpha minus 1 by n, so definitely alpha square is greater than alpha minus 1 by n square, but we want this to be greater than 2. So alpha square greater than alpha minus 1 by n square, and this is equal to alpha square minus 2 alpha by n plus 1 by n square. If we can find something bigger than this, that also will be sufficient for us, because alpha square is already greater than alpha minus 1 by n to the whole square. If we drop this part, suppose that we drop this, so this is greater than alpha square minus 2 alpha by n. Suppose that instead of this alpha square minus 2 alpha by n plus 1 by n square, we look at alpha square minus 2 alpha by n, and at the same time, if we are getting this part to be greater than 2, if this is greater than 2, this is going to be greater than 2, therefore this is greater than 2. That's enough for us. So we want alpha square minus 2 alpha by n greater than 2, or we want to solve for this n, or alpha square minus 2 by 2 alpha. We rearrange it. So alpha square minus 2 greater than 2 alpha by n, or 1 by n less than alpha square minus 2 by 2 alpha. So we want such an n. Want such an n satisfying this condition. But just remember that the numerator, this is greater than 0, since alpha square is greater than 2 by assumption. This is also greater than 0, since alpha is already greater than 0. But by the second part of Archimedean property, if y is a real number greater than 0, there exists n naught natural number such that 1 by n naught is less than y. See, in the place of y, we have here alpha square minus 2 by 2 alpha. Therefore, there exists n naught belongs to n such that 1 by n naught is less than alpha square minus 2 by 2 alpha. And if we rearrange all these things, so alpha square minus 2 greater than, bringing 2 alpha to the side, 2 alpha by n naught. So again, some more rearrangements. Alpha square minus 2 alpha by n naught greater than 2. So if we add 1 by n naught square to this, alpha square minus 2 alpha by n naught plus 1 by n naught square. Since it is positive, we are adding something to the left side, therefore the left side will become more. This is greater than alpha square minus 2 alpha by n naught, but this is already greater than 2. But this is nothing but alpha minus 1 by n naught, the whole square, that is greater than 2. So we call this to be beta, right? Beta equal to alpha minus 1 by n naught. We established that alpha is greater than alpha minus 1 by n naught. Now alpha square is greater than alpha minus 1 by n naught square, that is, this is beta. alpha square greater than beta square. This is still greater than 2. Therefore, beta is a lower bound for t. But alpha is the, sorry, beta is not lower bound. Beta is an upper bound for t. But alpha is the supremum of t, and therefore alpha must be less than or equal to every upper bound. But this is not the case here. Here we have alpha greater than beta. Here we want alpha to be less than or equal to beta. So this is a contradiction once again. So this is a contradiction. All these things, why did this happen? Because we assume that alpha square is greater than 2. Therefore alpha square not greater than 2. We have already ruled out the possibility that alpha square is less than 2. Therefore alpha square must be equal to 2. So we know that alpha exists because alpha is the supremum of a non-empty set that is bounded above. So alpha exists. Now alpha square is 2. Therefore, alpha is the square root of 2 and it exists in R because by axiom of completeness, supremum exists. Supremum is alpha. Alpha satisfies alpha square is equal to 2. Therefore, square root of 2 exists in R, or square root of 2, such a real number exists. But it is not a rational number by which we have already established, and it is a real number. Therefore, it is an irrational number existing in R. And that completes the proof for the existence of square root of 2 in the set of all real numbers.